Uh, Good afternoon and welcome to this session. My name is this is Kolo Official. We are live and about our scheduled meeting. This is what we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss about the president's speech in an outrageous tone. Mr. William Ruto, our very own president, was very vocal, and he said that he is ready to invite anyone to State House. This is my question: would you visit the State House if you are invited? On this, I would want to at least stir up a spirit of a Kenyan into you and tell you that the presidency is not anything small. State House is the highest office you can ever visit. It is a house on top of a hill. No one can hide it. The president has been all the time struggling to give us the light of what is happening in Kenya, and in fact the future of Kenya, him either or not being re-elected. But that future is in your hands. That future, even if you don't want to do anything about it, it will come to affect you. So the reason why the president said this is because of critics. He has received criticism from every corner about him inviting groups of people in the State House. Remember, we are not the same, even if we are one Kenya. Why? Because we have one thing called the media, and we depend on it very much for information. But remember, we are different. Some are sources of information. This is one. They are so ahead of time. In fact, Kenya to them is nothing. They have ground in much more other places. Some Kenyans have even ground. They have their economy running independently in countries outside Kenya. They have everything they would want beyond Kenya. So that is one. There is two. Those people have just enough. I mean, at least more than enough. But we have all just enough. There are three. We have people who have enough. And four, we have people who are looking for enough. Five, we have people who don't have any means, but they are willing to look for what they would want, just in fact save for 3 months to come. Unfortunately, this is only but divided into two groups: the rich, and the third group, the second group is the poor. Among the poor, you and me is included. Remember, we have our children. Kenya has outdone us. The children need from us. We need to be the source of one, information, two, education, and three, the future. But that should be us, just us. So the president has done his wits. He has invited many groups in the State House. He invited musicians. Unfortunately, we are doing nothing to bring musicians to their to to bring musicians to live up to the message they have given us. We do not ask question or doubt what they have for us. Number two, that was also the reason why musicians were invited. They seem to have to be not doing what whichever place, secular or religious, their position, their niche in society was not being felt. That's why the president invited them. Number two, he invited pastors, religious leaders. Number three, why were religious leaders invited? It is today the spirit of nationalism in Kenya is flat. This spirit is always stirred by the spirit of religion, because that is what holds the backbone of nationalism. Why? Because it's the source of peace. Remember, if we had any source of peace from anywhere, it will always come back to rest. Why? It is not the best or the needed source of peace. Source of peace is always religion. Whichever religion, be it Christianity, be it Muslim, be it Hindu, be it other native African religions groupings. Remember, these people have the right to practice what they do. They have all right to practice what they believe in. All these groups are united by one man called the president. The president is all inclusive. Even people who believe in deep traditional beliefs, they are anchored by the president, as well as those Christians and Muslims and Hindus and believe what you may. But he invited them. Why? It is not being felt in Kenya. Therefore, this sieve of religion has not brought up the cream of nationalism that should be felt by every person in Kenya. That is why the president invited religious leaders. Then he also invited politicians. Remember, politicians, the president does not meet with politicians every day. MPs go to parliament, senators as well go to the Senate, which is parliament still. Governors go to their offices every day. So the president is left to coordinate these people. Remember, our constitution is so mature that it's not a must, because every person should live to their mandate, because they are our officers. Now, the president, being our higher office, has felt that whatever result this thing the leaders are bringing as politicians is not to the expectation of our future being. Our future being are our children. Remember, the Bible says, whoever does not leave inheritance for their children's children, not just the children you are seeing, the children of those children you are seeing today, he is cursed. He is cursed. God curses the person that does not leave inheritance for the children of the children he has today. So there is a group that has not been invited to State House. This is us, we the poor people. Today, we have a reason to go reason together with the president. And why is that? What is that reason? The reason is we are the majority. We are the majority that should feel and should be aligned to the cream of nationalism, whether is the result of today's efforts or as a hope for the efforts tomorrow's efforts, as a hope of result of tomorrow's efforts, which is every day's person, every day's endeavor to do, to deliver, to save for the future. Number one, better living. Number two, should always result into long living. In better living, we have health, education, we have health, education, and improved social systems, which should never result into any which should not result into any conflict. Social systems that are well orchestrated, well proven, and provided for by the Constitution. Remember, these things must come with a cost. That cost should never be a sacrifice of the poor people or a sacrifice of any poor person. So that is the reason number one. We are more than these other two groups. Those that have more, those that have at least enough. Then there is a low affinity in us. There is low or zero affinity of consumption of national information, and two, county information. We don't have that affinity. The question of accountability has not been on our chests vis-a-vis, as in, we have not been asking ourselves, how is the national government, the county government doing, and how doing to positively affect or bring change into. Remember, these are the change agents we have chosen. We don't have any other. You cannot start a business today, do well in any way without aligning yourself with the laws of the land, whether national or county. So when there is no deep question about these two things, information is swindled. It is trampled upon in the underbelly of the hacking envelope media, and the people do not even demand for the same information. Such information would be about spending, would be about planning, and would also be about accounting for spending, for money spent, and about plans unmade. Therefore, this is the shocking revelation that The president has the opportunity. The president, this is a shocking revelation, under this failure of no affinity and no demand for information and no demand for accountability, the president has, this is the shocking revelation, the president has an opportunity to swindle, to embezzle, to eat, to loot, to do anything with the money we have entrusted him with. Because at the end of the day, listen to the air. There's nothing about what the president did every day. Nothing about the governor did that day. It is not in the air. And that is the public information. That should be the air. That should be what we breathe in, what we breathe out. Nothing should be hidden. Such information should be the breeze at your nose. And your question will be valid. But we don't have that. So the president has opportunity to do anything. If I don't the president, this is his worry. The governors have more than him the opportunity to embezzle the ground of the common mwananchi. Putting up puppet development puppet developments to show as if what is needed is going on, but not. So this is the president's call. In the past 2 weeks, because of criticism, Mr. William Ruto said that he is inviting anyone to go to State House. Number one, he did not state for the issue. Who us, but what would us go to do? Number two, that is the call. He wants to paint that picture of justice. Remember, do not take things for granted. Justice, the word justice should not even come up, because it's an omission of leadership. And leadership does not come from any person. Do not accept leadership from any person because of your future. Leaders are chosen. In fact, leaders are chosen by God. Now, this is your shocker. That every constitution, the laws that govern every land, are constituted and put up by heavens. Why? Nothing against God can prevail. So no one should, you should not be led by anyone. No one should claim to be your leader apart from those leaders you have chosen. And this is how stupid we should not be. We should not accept just any leader, because we are paying leaders. We are paying the MCA. We are paying the MCA and the mouth that governs the mouth, the MCA's speaker. We are paying MPs and the mouth that talks at their table. We are paying the senators and the mouth that talks at their table. and the mouth that talks at the senators table. We are paying the president, and we are paying the ants that work for us. Those are the county government ministers and the permanent and the ministers at national government. Therefore, the president has invited any person to go to State House. So, because there are questions, all of us have questions. We have questions about the unsolved Eurobond question, the unsolved China Road project question, CDFs in our own villages where we live. These dissatisfactions, these are the questions that the president is waiting for. Remember, they have not been stirred by the media. That is why the president is inviting any person. The media would have done us a great job by stirring up these questions. But unfortunately, the president is tired. Without answering questions, you are not the president of the land. He wants people to go ask him questions. Then, also, just a second. Rudi nje. Rudi nje.
Unafanya?
Nenda ucheze.
Nifungulia niweke stoki.
Therefore, we have an opportunity to let us solve one question that no one, number one, you cannot go to State House without an invitation. But if we formed a group and used any leader, be it a religious leader, be it a political leader, or be it a community leader, remember, the first is better than the latter. Any religious leader can lead us. The way to President Ruto's heart is through our religion. Is through our religion. Be it Muslim, be it Christianity, it is our religion. And it is through our tradition. Be it therefore, write this down. The way to our president's heart is through religion, is through tradition, and is true. And it's not politics, but it's through our religion. So, we as Christians, we as Muslims, we as traditional Luyas, traditional Kikuyus, traditional Luos, traditional, all tribes. These are, because how are you coming? We have seen a revelation, just a spirit, a very bad spirit that has stirred up in urban centers, and in fact spilled off to our traditional villages. This has to stop. We need our leaders to stand to account, to stand and answer the question of inclusivity, to answer the question of responsibility, and to answer a question of hope. Therefore, I'm asking, can we form a group and look at our model class? Right now, we as Christians, we have an opportunity to form a group. Then frontier our leader. Through that leader, it should be a remote group with a hope, with a vision, and that vision should be about the future of our children and the hope of leadership. And last should be any economic activity that will generate money. Then through this, we can ask for an appointment through that leader, then be invited at State House. Remember, we are looking for, number one, as we want the president to be accountable. Number two, through answering any questions we might have. Also, should sponsor. We have very many platforms. Should sponsor our group to come to do an economic activity and offer employment. Remember, it should mostly include women, female youth, our youth, and the leadership of religion. The question of hope of our kids, education and health. Education and health. Education and health. Then we ask for an appointment after through which we shall present ourselves. Remember, it's a process through which we shall present ourselves to State House and show our commitment for our country, which is vested in the President of the day, now Mr. William Samoei Ruto. Remember, we don't have any other president. You don't have any other country. You don't have any other country, any other nation but Kenya. You might want to live in another county, and have another. But even if you want to buy a land in another country, but remember, you don't have two Kenya. You will always have one Kenya with one president, with all included, and they must answer the question of continuity. The question of continuity of development. Remember, development should never be continuity, because development is a cost. So continuity should be profit. Development is investment. Development is investment. So when the debt is set, when the group is made, the debt is set, and invitation provided. The question of funding should be there. But remember, the search of accountability through our commitment should be a co-vision. Therefore, brethren, I'm asking that in the comments, please give the answer whether you can go to State House for any question. Remember, in fact, omitting this is committing a crime. You must ask a question, your leader. Therefore, give us an answer that you commit yourself to ask the president any question, and 2, to form a group, and 3, to stay together to provide vision, and also a vision through which we must have an economic activity going round, and a future for our children. Remember, development is not continuity, because it's a cost. By profitability should be continuity. Thank you for listening. Welcome once more. We are going to set a date for another engagement like this, to give us an answer of how many we are, when we shall draft a letter for appointment, and when we get invitation, all of us shall be ready to gather to present ourselves in the most magnificent house of the land, the State House of Kenya. Thank you. God bless you.